prospecting and cold emailing for a while, eventually questions are going to pop into your head, such as, is it worth buying B2B data, right? There's all these sites out there that promise to sell you leads or sell you high quality data for you to send cold emails to. Is it worth buying from any of them? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. I'm going to go over 3 that I pay right now, 3 services that I use to buy our leads from, and talk about the pros and cons of each. Number 1 is Email Hunter. Email Hunter is super easy to use. You basically type in any domain name and then it'll find email addresses for it. So for instance, apple.com, pop it in here and they'll give you the exact type of email that they have. So it's first initial dot last name. Sometimes they'll even have phone numbers for specific people. And it's very interesting. You can export all the email addresses to CSVs. You can do it in bulk. There's even a plugin that allows you to pull from Google Docs. Very cool. The main con or downside of Email Hunter is there is a high bounce rate. So there's actually 2 cons. So the first one is about 50% of the time, there's not going to be an email address for the domains that you listed, especially for startups. For enterprise, there's a little bit more data. And then the second con is even if you do have an email address, about 30% of the time the email is going to bounce. So it's going to be incorrect. And that's a problem you run into with a lot of these platforms, but Email Hunter is one of the worst I found for email bounce rate. But it's cheap. It's worth starting on. If you haven't bought a lot of data before, Email Hunter is just a really easy way to figure out if you can get value out of purchase data or more value than free data. Number 2 is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I did a video about this about a week ago. And the pros of LinkedIn Sales Navigator, all the data is here. Everybody's on LinkedIn, startups and enterprise in almost every industry. So it's very complete data. The downsides are it doesn't give you the email addresses a lot of the times. LinkedIn wants you to contact them through LinkedIn, which in my experience has not worked nearly as well as cold email. So you'll still have to use another one of these services. But Sales Nav is good in combination with something like Email Hunter to identify the actual person and then using another service to find the email address. The one that I've gotten the most value from, but is also the most expensive, is ZoomInfo. ZoomInfo has a lot of enterprise quality data. So if you're looking to sell to any sort of enterprise company, ZoomInfo will basically give you the name of the person, phone numbers, email addresses, everything that Email Hunter was showing, but the bounce rate is a lot lower and it's great data. The con of ZoomInfo, and the reason why I'm not recommending you get it right away, is it's pretty expensive. ZoomInfo is about $400 to $500 a month and you have to buy for a full year. So it's like $4,000 a year per person, which is incredibly expensive, but it's also an incredibly good deal if you're selling products over $10,000, right? Because basically to pay for ZoomInfo, you just have to sell one product. So this is the flow that I recommend going about trying data buying, B2B lead buying. Basically start with Email Hunter, see if that will work for you. If it does, perfect, it's cheap. Then add LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and you can use LinkedIn Sales Nav plus Email Hunter to get that high quality data, hopefully improve the quality. And then if all else fails, go to somewhere like ZoomInfo to get more data and increase your conversion rate. And then since I sell leads to agencies, the final step is if you can't figure this out or if it's too tedious, come to somebody like Experiment 27. If you're an agency or Lead Genius or one of these other companies, if you are a SaaS, and outsource it. But I always recommend before outsourcing anything to at least try it on your own and figure out that you can't do it or that you don't like doing it. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like to encourage this type of content on YouTube. Subscribe to this channel for more B2B sales training. And if you need marketing support for your digital agency, check out experiment27.com. I'm Alex Berman. Thanks.